Coming from the New York Post, oil tycoon busted at lavish Utah mega mansion accused of working with Mexican cartels in $300 million scheme. What was that again about immigrants and the southern border? Refresh my memory on that real quick. A Utah oil magnate was arrested along with his wife in a dramatic raid on their opulent 27,000 square foot mansion after allegedly smuggling more than $300 million worth of oil from Mexico to the U.S. with the help of drug cartels, according to reports. It looks like we know what the real hot commodity is. James and Kelly Jensen were arrested on April 23rd by U.S. Marshals who used battering rams to bust through the doors of the couple's $9.2 million mansion just outside of Salt Lake City, KSL-TV reported. They were unwilling to come out, Assistant U.S. Attorney Michael Hess said of the family, which has deep political ties. Kelly's father, Gordon Walker, worked in the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development under President Ronald Reagan, while her mother, Carlene Walker, was a Utah state senator, according to KVEO. Just days earlier, on April 17th, the Jensens were indicted on charges they conspired to buy and smuggle more than 2,800 shipments of stolen oil from Mexico into the U.S. as a part of an alleged scheme that began 3 years ago, according to the feds. The ghetto, honey. The Jensens company made payments for the crude oil to businesses in Mexico that operate only through the permission of Mexican criminal organizations, according to the feds. The feds allege the family used their ill-gotten gains to buy a new home and cars and have moved to seize them. Their sons, Zachary and Max, were also allegedly in on it and were also indicted, though it is unclear if they were arrested at the Mountainside mansion with their parents. The family owns and operates Arroyo Terminals, a Texas company that buys and sells crude oil at the property just miles from the U.S. border in Rio Hondo. Arroyo Terminals was raided by federal agents on the same day that the family was arrested, with employees being handcuffed and questioned about the business's practices. "We don't know about that," one employee told CBS 4 News after the raid. "We're just in charge of unloading the trucks and loading the barges." When it comes to the aspect of knowing where the oil's coming from, or what company or what part of Mexico or anything like that, we're always out of the loop, another worker told Border Report. The Jensens were detained and taken to Salt Lake City jail, but despite prosecutors' fears of being a flight risk, were back home within days after their attorney, John Huber, argued that they had deep roots in the community and weren't going anywhere. Well, if they get their house seized, they're going to have to go somewhere. They're active in their church. I bet they are. They're active in their community. They come from a stalwart Utah family, Huber says. James's in-laws have served in public service for decades, and they don't want to throw that all out of the window. Too late. Huber also disputed the feds' claim that the family refused to come easily during the raid. Well, they wouldn't have had to use battering rams if they... Let's continue. Mr. Jensen and Mrs. Jensen's story about that is very different. Of course, do you expect the criminals to be honest? Claiming that the couple agreed to come out, but the feds busted down the door anyway. Okay, that's possible. I mean, they are the feds, but... The family business was previously accused of buying stolen oil in 2011. Oh, y'all just repeat offenders. Once again, the ghetto. In that case, James Jensen was sued by a Mexican government-owned oil company for allegedly traveling to Mexico to buy fuel from cartels. Jensen denied all wrongdoing, and the case was dropped 2 years later. Oh, he thought that they would just take his word again. After their April arrest, the Jensens were ordered to forfeit all money they'd earned from the alleged scheme, along with new cars, a second home, their business, and bank accounts, all worth about $300 million, KSL-TV reported. Both sons pleaded not guilty. All were also charged with money laundering, spending conspiracy, and aiding and abetting smuggling goods into the U.S. They face up to 20 years in federal prison if convicted. Well, the family that defrauds together does time together. That's the ultimate praying.